Greetings, dear viewers, greetings from my channel. I hope you're having a great day. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the video. Drew Scott's two children. Everything about Piper and Parker, including how they distinguish the Property Brothers. HGTV personality Drew Scott and his spouse Linda Phan have two kids together. Drew Scott and his wife Linda Phan have two children together. Parker, the couple's son, was born in 2022 and Piper, their daughter, in 2024. Piper is already able to distinguish between Drew and his twin, Jonathan Scott. Proud father of Parker and Piper is Drew Scott. With wife Linda Phan, the Property Brothers actor has had two children over the years, a daughter named Piper in 2024 and a son named Parker in 2022. In an interview with People before to the birth of their first child together, Drew talked about the difficulties he and Linda faced in becoming parents, saying that they were so lost following years of no success. Eventually, they underwent intrauterine insemination (IUI) and in vitro fertilization (IVF) procedures during their 2-year reproductive quest. In April 2022, the HGTV personality told People, "Our fertility endocrinologist was a huge help. Once we started to understand more why things weren't working, Linda has thyroid issues, she has Graves' disease, so trying to understand what we had to do to get to a point where we could even consider conceiving. Having a child is something Drew has always dreamed of, and now that it's here, I can't believe it's here. We have been remodeling homes for families for the past 25 years. In a joint Father's Day interview with twin Jonathan Scott posted on their website in June 2023, he stated, "We've spent so much time trying to give them that feeling of home and that place where they can focus on raising the kids and bringing in that love. I love that I have that now." Here is all the information you need to know about Parker and Piper, Drew Scott's two children. On May 4, 2022, Drew and Linda welcomed Parker James, their first child. He was born on the 4th anniversary of the couple's marriage, the parents revealed in their podcast, At Home. Parker joined the family business shortly after his debut, and in an August 2022 Instagram post, Drew made a joke about the baby taking the position of his twin Jonathan. "I would like to introduce the team to my new business partner. Jonathan, you've been bumped." Drew was at the computer, writing next to pictures of Parker sitting on his leg. In the comments, Jonathan expressed his happiness at taking a back seat to his nephew, saying, "I'd like to be pissed." However, Parker is simply too adorable. Drew reflected on the early stages of juggling work and fatherhood a year after Parker was born, remembering how he had to leave Linda with 2-month-old Parker for 2 weeks while he completed his MBA. In his Father's Day interview from June 2023, he stated, "It's difficult to leave a parent alone in the early stages of being born. Linda was good at letting me know what she needed to tackle everything, but after doing that it made me understand how easy it could be to just let Linda take the reins on everything Parker. I'm at work all day and she's with him, so it's easy for me to forget that I'm a parent here too and I have certain responsibilities." The HGTV star has talked about Parker's hobbies such as art, but Drew and Linda have mostly kept their children out of the spotlight and have not posted pictures of them online. He has also talked about the significant events in his life such as being a big brother. Linda told People in October 2024 that watching the siblings bond has been the highlight of growing their family. Indeed, it's very awesome to see Parker as Piper's big brother. He was a little hesitant at first, but now they seem like the best of friends, Drew continued. Drew and Linda welcomed daughter Piper Ray into the world on May 21, 2024, following the announcement of Linda's second pregnancy in January of that year. The parents posted pictures of their newborn's small hands and feet on Instagram. "Our family of 3 has become 4. Drew captioned the photo, "Piper Ray, you have my undying love." Drew revealed how Parker was adjusting to the change on his website, stating that the family of 4 was over the moon with their new member. "He's helpful, inquisitive, and perhaps a little envious," he wrote. "We got him his own baby doll so he can take care of his baby while we take care of ours." Drew went on to say that he's excited to experience whatever is to come with Piper, despite getting a lot of mixed advice about being a female dad. The brothers revealed during a joint interview on The Jennifer Hudson Show in November 2024 that Piper could already distinguish between her father and Uncle Jonathan at the age of a few months. Drew stated that Parker believes Jonathan to be the funniest person on the planet, and that Piper is now starting to recognize it's not me. Since she didn't understand why her father shaved for the first few months, Jonathan said, Piper has now formally begun to recognize me. Go to People to read the original article. In this uncommon picture, Piper, the daughter of Drew Scott and Linda Phan, already has a full head of hair. Piper, the daughter of Drew Scott and Linda Phan, is growing up very quickly. She already has a massive head of curly hair, in fact. Scott posted a few pictures of his daughter Piper with her parents on Instagram on February 10th. Quality time with Piper and Pops was the caption he wrote when he posted the pictures. Pictures show Piper enjoying some belly time while her grandfather watches her with affection. Additionally, Piper is quite cute with her pink trousers, floral top, and of course her full head of hair. Piper already has a full head of dark brown hair, just like her older brother Parker, but it has more curls than her brother did at that age. Where has the time gone, really? She's maturing so quickly. For those who are unaware, Scott and Phan fell in love right away after meeting at a Toronto Fashion Week event in 2010. In 2018, they got married. In May 2022, on their 4th wedding anniversary, they welcomed their son Parker James into the world after 12 years of marriage. They declared they were expecting a second child in early 2024, and their daughter Piper Ray was born on June 5, 2024. Fatherhood opens up a side you didn't know you had, Scott stated in a rare interview with Entertainment Tonight. I love Linda deeply, but then, all of a sudden, that's the shallow pool, he added. I'm not suggesting that my relationship with Linda is shallow. I really love her, but my relationship with Parker has a whole different dimension. Just watching his face as he looks at you is incredible. When he starts to focus and looks directly into your eyes, your heart melts. It's incredible. The amazing change in Linda Phan, Drew Scott's wife, the enormous home improvement heartthrob twins, Drew and Jonathan Scott, who have been dazzling audiences with their charismatic stage presence and real estate/contracting prowess since 2011, are probably well known to HGTV viewers, but some may not be aware of the truth about Drew's wife, Linda Phan. For instance, Phan plays a significant role behind the scenes in The Property Brothers, something you may not be aware of. Phan has developed into a skilled creative director, television personality, and content creator since joining her husband and brother-in-law's entertainment and business endeavors. She is accountable for a fair portion of Property Brothers' earnings. From creating props for advertising campaigns to organizing high-profile events, Phan's contributions to Scott Brothers Entertainment are as varied as her skill set. She is a creative force to be reckoned with. In addition to her work behind the scenes at Scott Brothers Entertainment, Phan has appeared on screen alongside Drew Scott in the Property Brothers spin-off Property Brothers at Home, Drew's honeymoon house, where the couple collaborated to create their own home as a family to begin their married life. Through captivating social media posts that provide endearing peeks into the daily lives of one of HGTV's most recognizable stars, Phan has captivated current Property Brothers viewers and attracted new ones thanks to her captivating and personable personality. Drew Scott identifies the top 3 design errors and offers solutions. Drew Scott, an HGTV star, is an expert in interior design. After all, his architectural expertise has helped him and fellow Property Brother Jonathan Scott establish incredibly prosperous professions. Drew shared some of that knowledge with his social media fans on August 28, 2025, when he listed his top 3 design blunders and what he recommends doing in their place to create a stunning living area. In his essay, Drew nixed the first design decision, calling it matchy-matchy everything with no personality. Rather, he advises his followers to create a multi-layered area using well-positioned accessories that offer visual appeal, texture, and customization. Drew also dislikes off-the-wall design trends and pedestal sinks. Drew dislikes pedestal sinks, at least not in a main bathroom, although many others adore them. The HGTV article shrewdly posed the question, "Where did you put your toothbrush?" Drew says that going with a built-in vanity or sink is the best option. These solutions are elegant and provide the necessary storage in a main bathroom. logic-defying design trends rank last on his list of pet peeves. He included a picture of this rather odd trend along with the question, "Who had the idea for toilet flowers and why?" He advises against focusing on concepts that might only succeed in social media photographs in favor of long-term appeal and personal style. Fans may demystify the design process with Drew's straightforward advice, and his following are obviously grateful for it. Shortly after the TV personality shared the post, it received about 1,000 likes and a ton of encouraging comments. In a new series, the HGTV star returned to his roots. In 2025, Drew will have plenty of chances to test his design prowess. He and Jonathan will return to American living rooms even though HGTV announced a startling number of cancellations in the summer. The idea of one of their most recent efforts, Chasing the West, which debuted on July 30th, is extremely relatable. Reminiscent of their own childhoods on a Canadian ranch, the show follows the brothers as they assist families in embracing country living. One of Drew's favorite recollections of that period was revealed in an exclusive interview with People. "I always loved having a campfire in the evenings," he said. "We would sit and sing while watching the sunset while my dad played the guitar. That was truly wonderful." The cutest travelers in Europe are Drew Scott's children. View the video. Drew Scott is being candid on what it's like to take 2 children on an international trip. The HGTV star shared a video on his Instagram account, revealing that he and his wife, Phan, traveled to Scotland, Germany, Italy, and Switzerland for 2 weeks with their 3-year-old son Parker and 1-year-old daughter Piper. Following that incredible journey, the property brother offers some guidance to parents considering a family trip in Europe. According to Drew in the video, they went with both his parents and Linda's. Furthermore, he claims that their itinerary was the ideal fusion of nature, history, and city exploration. History buffs should definitely visit a castle in Europe, and Drew especially suggests Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany's Bavarian Alps. Fans are informed by Drew that the Sleeping Beauty Castle in Disneyland was designed with inspiration from the castle. Drew Scott shares the key to taking toddlers on trips. Parents who are considering taking their children on a trip abroad will find a wealth of guidance from Drew Scott. In the video, he states, "It definitely takes a lot of planning to travel with kids across multiple countries. Consider everything you might need, such as a travel router for baby monitors or a car seat belt lock clip," he suggests. Additionally, Drew disclosed that he and Linda adored the Italian all-inclusive resort Sunwise Dolomites. "It had everything we could have wanted for the kids, including nature hikes, water slides, baking experiences, and horseback riding." In order to keep children occupied and tire them out for naps, Drew also recommended taking them to interactive displays. "Parker really adored the Wow Museum in Zurich, Switzerland," he added. Parker was also seen racing enthusiastically towards a huge chocolate fountain at the Lindt Museum in the endearing video. Drew Scott visits his father's hometown with his family. Although Drew Scott's family vacation included a lot of sightseeing, the property brother found the trip to be far more meaningful. "Imagine traveling, it was 10 people," Drew stated in an episode of the podcast Ridiculous. "Along with Linda's parents, we had a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 91-year-old, and an 81-year-old. It was a lot, but we traveled to my dad's hometown in Scotland," Drew continued. He's Scottish. Town was small. We then proceeded to stay in a castle. It was incredible. I also enjoy taking tours of castles. In fact, seeing all these stone castles and the ruins was what first drew me to building as a child." According to podcaster Rosanna Pansino, Drew's work path was shaped by his observations of the numerous stone castles and historic structures. "That's also the reason I collect old coins, swords, and armor from the Middle Ages. Because when I used to visit these castles, I would reach into every nook and cranny and discover antique coins, buckles, and other artifacts from a millennium ago. I have an entire collection that primarily dates back to my time visiting Scotland when I was 5 or 10 years old," he disclosed.